Yeah, so thank you for inviting. Jodel is pretty simple. It's a social media app where you can send a message or a picture to everyone around you. You can basically yodel, and it's going to be heard by the people around you. We focus on universities across Europe, and that's basically it. So let me show you how the app looks like, if it gets a signal. Exactly. So that's right now here in Berlin. So a few seconds ago, someone was posting the red yodel, as you can see, and so on. You can then downvote, upvote, for example here. You can see what people are saying, replying. You don't need a profile to log in on Jodel to start yodeling. Basically, you download the app and you're in. People in your area are your followers. You don't need to build up a profile. You're basically anonymous. So that leads to really open conversation in your location. And that's basically it. So on a campus in cities where we have penetration rates up to 40–50% of the people on campus using the app, you can imagine this is basically the place where the entire conversation is happening, what's going on tonight. People are talking about classes, a lot of funny stories are being shared, and yeah, that's basically it. So we're in the sector of local communication, which is pretty undiscovered. You all know Tinder. It's basically the same type of people, but with an open communication. It's not about dating. It's not about getting to know people immediately. It's a mirror of your current location. So whatever's hot, whatever's happening, people talk about. And as you can imagine, we also have some struggles on the technical side, so that's what we want to talk about. So when we started out, it became Jodel 1 year ago. We didn't expect so much traffic. Basically, we iterated out of another app. Suddenly, we had thousands of people in the same really close vicinity requesting the feed, posting, yodeling, replying, voting, all of that. And we were basically calculating all of that on the fly. So longitude, latitude, everything that was happening and requesting it, and that was really, really bad. And since then, we've gone a long way, and yeah, basically, I'm gonna hand over to Robert, who's gonna explain you what we fucked up and what we're doing good.
Yeah, so at some point, we got our own tech team, and we were a bunch of young people that wanted to build something great. We found that our old backend was literally unfixable. So we choose to build something new. We went the greenfield approach. We wanted to do everything new. The API, the clients, the model, everything. What could go wrong? Yeah, basically at some point we made a little status report and we found out that everything was almost finished. Nothing could really be removed. And the devil is in the details, so it wasn't clear how long it may take to finish, which, yeah, was the beginning of a bad time. We continued, and we continued, and we continued, and at some point we also realized migration is bad. It's not only hard to migrate the data model from one to another, it's also really slow how we did it, and getting the clients to a new app version that isn't compatible with the old backend, and then trying to get them back at some point would be dangerous. And a little later even, we did the first load tests, way too late. And we found out that the system handles 1/5 of the current requests that are coming in every day at peak hours, which was bad. Also, the risk was big because that was an artificial test. It was a simple test that was written in half a day. And yeah, the innovation of the new system that we built so hard was actually very little. And that was the point when we decided to scrap the new system. And to go with the old one. And while we still don't like our legacy system, we have decided to cope with it, to deal with it, and to extend it. And we're already on a way better track that we've been before. Yeah, we've made a lot of incremental changes. We're constantly shipping again, which is a really nice feeling. And so as a conclusion, what you can read in every book about Agile, what could happen, the textbook cases, what could go wrong, literally everything happened to us. So advice from our side, maybe it's nice to read a book and take that advice by heart. Thank you. Yes?
Sorry to be again. So you guys had problems going. I'm guessing was this something where you were having to scale vertically on the old system and you kind of wanted to make it a little bit maybe more horizontal because of all the traffic coming through, or was it a database issue?
It was.
Because we actually have a similar app, which is sort of, and we're also sort of going through a change, and for us it's sort of got to do with that, with the amount of requests.
We had a system based on vanilla Node.js that was done in a crude but working way, and we wanted to make lots of things easier, so we decided to go with loopback, so we can just write a couple of lines and have everything out of the box for us, authentication, this, that, client-side SDKs. And so the change was not one that it didn't scale vertically, because all the time the old system still lasted. It was just, and in the beginning there were also a lot of ideas that were then cut down, till the difference between the old and new system was actually very minor. So there was no urgent need, but we decided we wanted something better and hated the old code.
How many users are you guys on? Sorry, last question.
Yeah, so users daily active, monthly active, weekly active.
So daily active, average, and then...
Yeah, so right now we're peaking at like 170, 180,000 per day, daily actives.
This is all in Germany?
No, it's Scandinavia and the German-speaking region. That's where we're active. Sweden actually the biggest country.
Hi there. Hello. Oh, really cool app. I've always wondered with this, what happens to, so these are threads, right? People respond. What happens to threads which propagate in space? I mean, you write a comment, people in a X meter radius see it, the person on the periphery of that radius responds, and then someone even further away sees his response and picks up the thread. But you can't see his response because you're 20 meters away, or 2x.
That's actually not how it's working. So it's basically just you have to be in 10-kilometer radius from the OP, from the original post creator, that you can see the thread and you can reply, and basically that's it. You're going to see all the replies wherever they're coming from. So basically, I was in Prague and I left at the German border, or in Prague itself. I left the Jodel, and a few days later, someone responded to it that was also in Prague, and then I could still reply to it, even though it was still in Prague.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
How did you get solved the empty room problem?
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
What is there? Ah, no. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is it good? The empty room problem.
The empty room problem. How did you get
the chicken egg problem?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you ramp up the virality? So.
Yes, that's the thing. So we started at my home university, RWTH Aachen. That's where we launched first. And basically we had, who's now our head of community, he was just walking around for a few hours handing out flyers. Yeah, that was basically it. And we were really surprised ourselves. And of course, I mean, we posted in some Facebook groups and stuff, but at the beginning, it's important that you seed activity, you seed good activity, right? And that results in people reproducing that activity, that style. So at the beginning, it's us yodeling in a new location. And people see, oh wow, there's activity, right? And then they're joining the activity, they post themselves, and then you can stop posting. And then other people post, and then it's going on, and it's like kind of like an upwards kind of thing. And then it's viral.
Since it's a tech meetup, and probably if I miss it, correct me, what is your backend architecture and the technology stack that you're using?
Yeah, Robert.
So we have a Node.js backend based on top of MongoDB. We have some Redis here and there and native clients.
And how many servers you have?
Is it 14 now? Yeah, should be.
14.
14.
14. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, how do you manage the review of the pictures users are uploading? I heard of the porno Jodel Sunday.
That was a great time in the beginning. Then it kind of turned sour, and we got kicked out of the App Store. And that was around the time when we decided to pre-screen every visual content.
Yeah, so at the beginning we were actually doing it ourselves within the team until we freaked out because it just got so much. And whenever we woke up in the morning, like Nicholas, our head of community, he was waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, he was like freaking out, shit, so many good party pictures I didn't approve. And he was really mad. Then we decided to like outsource it to a company in India. So basically 24/7 now there's people accepting pictures. Lavu is doing the same, by the way, really successfully. And yeah, unfortunately we can't do that with the text content, but we do that with the picture content.
Thanks.
Great, probably great idea that you scrapped the new development. Great respect for that. I wonder, because many people have been probably in a similar situation, what is it that you would have, like, what would have been necessary to tell you in early stages of the development of the new project to scrap it maybe faster, or not even to start with this in the first place? Because I guess many people have been in similar situation as you before.
So if I understand your question correctly, what's like the most important thing at the very beginning to start?
No, slightly different. Like, how could we have started? What is it that somebody had to tell you in order not to have started in the first place with the greenfield approach?
With the new backend that we developed, you mean?
I get it. We shouldn't have been that ambitious. That's basically all of it.
Right, but it's not something that somebody could have told you externally?
There were voices externally, internally, but on the other hand, only we knew how bad the backend was, and we considered it so bad that we had to go that way.
One more thing, maybe like really listing up and showing the potential small, maybe percentage-wise small risks, but if those risks are happening, that the entire system is fucked up and you're losing a lot of users, and kind of like, you know, like in this part of migration we have like a 10% chance that it's not working. Then this and this and this and this could happen, right? Then basically in every step of the greenfield approach, showing the risks and how irreversible they are. That's, I think, the most important thing, how irreversible they are, and then maybe even how many users you actually lose if you have a downtime. If you're down for 2 hours, it's horrible, you lose a lot of users. If you're down for a week, for 2 weeks, because Apple review process, yeah, you're done.
Guys, thanks so much.